Hello and welcome back. This is the second video in the series about co-creation. And so today we're going to be talking about control versus co-creation. And these are two very different ways that us human beings like to go about manifesting things, bringing things into our reality, making our dreams come true. So the old way is control and the new way is co-creation, and you find yourself kind of tripping into both ways of working. So let's look at these ways, because what I'm wanting to do with this video is to give you more awareness about when you've gone into controlling things and how you can come back to allowing life to work with you so that it's not so blimmin' stressful. Okay. So let's look at these two. They both come from very different states of consciousness, and this is the key. It's the state of consciousness from which each of these ways of being has born forth from. So when you look at control, if you think about the person that really wants to control something, that wants a situation to be their way and will do anything to make it happen that way, will manipulate things, will bash through obstacles, will just, put as much willpower and effort and struggle and striving into that in order to get their will done. Their will, by the way, done on this thing, whatever it might be, a relationship, a project, a work matter, parenting even, there's lots of different ways that people like to assert their control. So what energy is this person in? How is this person feeling when they are being this controlling? What is the state of being that control comes from? And I'm sure that you'll agree with me that it is fear, in one of fear's many forms. The person who wants to control wants to desperately do it because they feel scared. And why do they feel scared? Because they feel cut off from source. Because in that moment they have forgotten who they are, and they've jumped into some fearful knee-jerk reaction, and they want to desperately control things around them to try and make themselves feel okay again. And the other way of feeling okay again, or the more productive way of feeling okay again that's actually going to work, is connecting to source, connecting to your source of love, connecting to your sanity, your grounding, your safety. And that is the root from which co-creation comes from. Co-creation stems from, first of all, feeling centered in love, feeling centered in connection to source, knowing you are not alone. And these are two important keys. You are not alone. And a person who wants to control feels very alone. Okay, there's two fundamental differences here. So the person who can co-create is starting from an energy of knowing that they are fully connected, that they are fully one with this amazing being called our universe, and that every element in this universe is actually part of the individual person's body. So we look like we're separate and cut off and alone, but that's an illusion. We're actually totally connected and one with everything and everyone around us. So when you're starting to co-create, you come from that place of consciousness of knowing that first before you take any action. Because can you see what difference that will make? If you're feeling scared, if you're feeling cut off, if you're feeling desperate because you need something to feel better, then you're going to be going into control because you're going to be scared. But when you start any project, when you begin any action with, first of all, coming into your center, getting grounded, getting connected, feeling loved, feeling part of everything, feeling like, help is available, readily available all around you at all times, within, without, the resources are there. If you come into that place of fullness, first. Then you can co-create. And what does co-create mean? It means you're not blooming doing it by yourself. It means you're allowing the whole of the universe to bring this into fruition through you. You are simply the channel for it. Whereas the old way, control, believes that you're all on your own and it's all up to you, and all your effort and tears and sweat and struggle will have to go into this to making this happen, and it will be hard. And inevitably it is really hard, that path. And yes, you can control and you can force and you can push down obstacles and you can make things happen, and you might get to that end result, but you will probably, your health will be seriously diminished, and your relationships probably will be pretty bad too, you know. So it's not ever going to bring the results that you want because of the state of consciousness that it came from. So I hope that this is really hitting home with you. The action, it doesn't matter what action you take, it's the state of consciousness that stems from that action. So let's start by feeling really, 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 really super connected first. And then what do? You allow the universe to work through you. You ask for help. You tell the universe what you want by imagining it, claiming it, owning it, fully 100% committing and deciding that that is what you are having and have. And then that sets the GPS and the universal navigation system, and then you just get all the things starting to come, the resources, the synchronicities, the people, the nudges. You've got to take action, yes, but you're taking action from a place of alignment rather than from a place of fear. So those are the two different ways of working. With co-creation, you need to ask, okay? You need to let the universe know that this is what you're wanting, this is what you are owning, and then you ask for help and allow it to come to you. And when you do that, man, things happen. Things really happen, and it's not a struggle anymore. And you'll find that, you know, projects that you thought that you wanted to complete, things that you thought you really wanted for your life, when you come into a place of connection first, you realize that they're not actually really that important, and you actually would rather do this. So what I'm really saying to you is the most important thing is, how are you feeling? You know, how connected are you feeling? What practices do you use to help you to get in that state of feeling fully loved, fully centered, fully grounded, you know, fully open and part of this whole thing and not alone, really connected? And if you don't have a practice in that, find something, you know, because whatever you do, if it comes from that place, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be fulfilling. And it won't just be fulfilling when you get to that result, it'll be fulfilling the whole way through, every step of the process. And that's the point, you know. It's not about sacrificing yourself in order to get to this end place. It's about every step of that journey comes from a feeling of connection. So it's all fun, it's all joyful, it's all coming from a place of knowing that everything that you want, you already have. You know, when you come into that place of connection, it all just feels like right now, this very moment is so full. And what would I do? You know, what do I want to express from this place of fullness? What do I want to share? What do I want to give? How do I want to contribute? Those are the meaningful, juicy projects that are going to, you know, make this world a better place and make your life stunning, you know, a beautiful, serene, peaceful, yet inspiring, fun place to live. Right, there's some things that happen that kind of, that I just want to talk about, some questions that I've thought of that people would probably ask, okay? And so, you know, some people feel that they're kind of stuck, you know, they're maybe you're in the middle of finishing a degree, and it's like, oh, you've kind of lost motivation and momentum. So what do? You find yourself going into that control state. I just have to control it. I have to push through obstacles. I have to strive, to just get through the day. And if that is your reality, if you're having to push through a job or a parenting situation or a degree or, something, because you're trying to get to an end result, then you need to start bringing the universe in to that project, to that degree, to that parenting issue, to that whatever it is that you're finding a struggle. You need to get centered. You need to make that a priority. And then from that place of centeredness, you need to call in the resources, call in the support, on a daily basis, be asking for help to get through that, to, make your days lighter, for things to be easier. And you'll probably notice that you're kind of cutting off your own foot with your attitude. And there will be things that will be highlighted to you that you could just kind of stop doing that would make everything so much easier. Sometimes we just put our blinkers on and we try and push forward, but and it becomes really hard. If you're finding life a struggle with whatever area, but you can't just kind of quit that, then come on, get connected and bring the universe in to help. There are so many resources available to you on the inside and the outside. Doesn't have to be this hard, okay? You're making it hard. You're cutting yourself off. So bring yourself back in, bring yourself back into connection, and bring the universe back in to help you. The other thing is, what happens when stuff shows up that you don't want? What if you are on the co-creation path and you're doing quite well and things are flowing, and then something crazy happens, like a car accident with someone in your family or yourself, or your house gets burgled, or there's just a friend dies. There's a million different things that could happen, right? That could stop you in your tracks or make you doubt the whole co-creation process. And this is really important, because this is what throws people down into the mud. Okay, shit happens. Let's be honest. Even if you're on a roll, stuff is going to happen, because the truth is we cannot control everything that's going on out there. We can only control some parts of it, and we can control how we react to it. But that's it. There are some things we just can't control. So what do we do when something shows up that we didn't order, and it's like, what? I thought we were working together on this, Why have you brought this into my life? And if that is the case, it's time to humble yourself. And it's time to look at, instead of feeling victimized by what is showing up at your door, you get humble and you go, okay, what is this trying to show me? What is the gift in this for me? And you may not be able to realize that straight away. Maybe the emotions are too raw. Maybe there's too much, going on. And that's okay. Be with the emotions and feel them and process them and get help if you need to. But don't let yourself lose faith. This is how you cut yourself off again. The universe is a benevolent place, and it's always trying to help you. But the thing is, we judge these bad experiences and we take them personally, and we think, oh my God, how can the universe love me if they can bring that into my life? I mean, I don't believe anymore. And then you've got a wall over your heart and you create more struggle. Open it instead. Look at yourself. Look at what the universe is bringing. What is this showing me? What is this trying to get me to say about myself and about my life? What is the gift this is asking me to receive? How is this asking me to grow myself? Those are the questions that are going to keep you open and keep you connected and not lose faith. Okay, and there's one more question that I thought would be helpful. And that is, a lot of people feel as though they are stuck kind of in a job or in a situation that's not really feeding them, not making them feel good, but they And they have this other inspiration, this kind of thing that when they're really connected and when they tune into their source, they have this thing that they think, oh, I'd really love to do that. I'd love to do that creative project, but I need to make money. So therefore, I'm just going to keep on doing this thing that I don't really like doing. And it feels like I'm selling my soul because I'm getting paid to do something I don't really want to do. And I want to do that, but will I get paid for it? I'm too scared to go off on that creative tangent, because how will I support myself and my family? This is like one of the number one questions I think that's out there in the world at the moment, and it needs answering, doesn't it? And the answer that I would give from my connection with source would be that there is no hurry to make that jump. The fact that you've got that in your awareness is a start. You've got a foot in the door, you've got a clarity, you've got a vision, you've got a feeling about what you know that you want to do. So now the next step would be for you to have a daily practice of tuning in and connecting and feeling connected to source. And that might be 10 minutes, okay? Everybody can fit that in. Let's not make excuses about that. Let's prioritize what's really important. Coming from that, remember that the state of consciousness that you're coming from is primary. Everything else, every action that you take is going to be infused with the state of consciousness that it came from, and it's going to make all the difference. So if you have a daily practice of connecting in just for 10 minutes and feeling that connection to source, you have that vision of that work that you want to do, that thing that you want to do, and you feel it, you embody that, you imagine that that's happening, and you just ask. I really want to make a move into this. Show me how I can make a move in this direction. And you just keep connecting and you keep feeling it as if it's happening now, and you keep asking for guidance, and it will just start slowly coming to you. You know what? You could jump from the paying, the security job to the thing that, you know, is fun and creative and passionate and amazing. You could make that jump overnight. You could, if you believed enough that you would be supported. If you fully believed with 100% of your being that you could make that move and you would be totally supported and the resources would all show up and you'd be absolutely fine. And if you felt totally secure in that, then you'd manifest it. But if you're not feeling fully secure in that, then it wouldn't be wise to do it. So you've got to wait until you feel fully secure, so you can chip away by tuning in and, you know, letting things slowly start to come to you and slowly starting to build up something on this other side, on this creative side, until it feels strong enough and you feel confident enough that you can jump over there. So that would be my advice from my place of connection to you about that. And if you have any other questions, you just please write a comment, or get in touch via my website. And I'll be back soon with some more information about co-creation. See you later.